Make a decision! By request from the fans, welcome to That's Not Sexist. It's like that's not racist, but now we're talking about stuff that pertains to sex and gender. I don't need to explain, really, you're smart enough to get it. What a FUBAR situation we found ourselves in now. The social justice community's cause célèbre has decided to cast its shadow on our own military. Or at least it tried until... Now, is Trump wrong to ban transgender people from the military? Is he being a sexist, bigoted transphobe who is purposely out to set back the LGBT community decades? Not even a little bit. You can hate Trump with the burning passion of 1,000 post-election Hillary Clintons and still see that his decision is a solid one. Let me explain. Firstly, a Military Times poll noted that only 12% of the military is okay with transgender troops serving in the military. This isn't because members of our military are phobic, by the way. Stop using that word, you're using it wrong, but I digress. It's because they know the rigors and stresses that everyday military life can put on a person, and it's not always pretty. As J.R. Salzman, an Iraqi veteran and wounded warrior, wrote, "The stress of being out there and doing the same job every single day eats away at you. The younger guys had problems with that over time. Any tiny little personal issue they had suddenly became a mountain. And that came out on that fire base. And they snapped mentally. Guys would literally snap over a Dear John letter. Their personal issues came out and they were instantly combat ineffective." Now, as many transgendered people will openly tell you, their lives are very stressful and oftentimes highly emotionally painful. And I'm very inclined to believe them. Transgenderism is still classified as a disorder called gender dysphoria from places like the American Psychiatric Association, and it's a dangerous disorder to have. Despite every step they take to feel more like the sex they want to feel like, it never fully takes hold. And how can it? No amount of hormones or surgeries can change your biology. This, in part, is why depression is so rampant within the transgender community. In fact, it's so bad that the transgender community has a 41% suicide rate according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Let's say someone suffering greatly from gender dysphoria is introduced to the stresses, aches, and tensions of military service. If fit young men snap under that stress, transgender people are highly more likely to. And where a regular guy might just break down and need some time to recoup, a transgendered person is far more likely to do something worse during his or hers. But Brandon, I hear you say, wasn't the military going to pay for gender reassignment surgery? That would have fixed everything and it would have only cost the military $8.4 million a year. They spend way more than that on Viagra. Well, you'd be wrong, disembodied dissenter, because reassignment surgery helps no one. In fact, according to a study done in part by the former chief psychiatrist at Johns Hopkins Hospital, Dr. Paul R. McHugh, trans people who undergo reassignment surgery are 20 times more likely to commit suicide than those who never undergo it. And where does it stop? Should trans-abled, or people who identify as disabled people, be allowed in the military? Should we pay for perfectly healthy limbs to be removed because they feel like their arm or leg isn't theirs? Being rejected from the military because of a psychiatric disorder, especially one this severe, is nothing new. In fact, you could potentially be rejected from the military service for far less. Is the military discriminatory? Yes! This is an organization whose primary purpose is to deploy, fight, and win at a moment's notice with efficiency and speed and deadliness. Our men and women in arms are highly trained to deal with stressful situations such as the taking of human life, if need be, in order to protect their friends and families back home. You have to be at the top of your game to do many of the things our military members have to do, both physically and mentally. If you can't shake it, then you shouldn't be there. The military is not a safe space. War isn't a game. Putting someone suffering from a severe mental disorder in a situation where they will be suffering from extraordinary stresses not only endangers them, but everyone relying on them. If you're trans and you want to join the military, then understand that you're joining because you want to serve and understand and accept that you won't and shouldn't receive any special treatment. Furthermore, understand that you will be pushed both physically and mentally, and if you think you can't deal with that, then you should do the right thing and step back. Remember, the military isn't about you. It's about service to others. Don't rely on an organization whose purpose is to deal death with honed efficiency to solve your identity issues. Of all the organizations out there, the military is the farthest thing you want from being a ground for social experimentation. Remember, Its strength is the thing that keeps you in a nation where you're free to explore whatever identity you please. So, keeping transgendered folk out of the military? That's not transphobic or even sexist. It's a life-saving tactic. The military is super discriminatory. You can only wear pink on Wednesdays. You can only wear your hair in a ponytail one day a week, and jeans and sweatpants on Fridays.